And this, 3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Airing It Out podcast live. I am your host, Dustin Marion. He is my partner in crime, Hollow Clutch. But before we introduce the main man, I want to let you guys know if you like it, like it. If you love it, subscribe to it. Please follow us on all our handles. We're trying to get this custom URL. But now, without further ado, what is up, Hollow?
Let's dab on them, baby.
Let's go! Woo!
Very hot. It's gonna be a very hot episode. Very. It's gonna be a couple of controversial things. It's cold in New York right now, but we're gonna turn up and make it hot.
It's a little cold here in the West Coast too. We're getting some of that northwestern kind of flavor.
I think we're supposed to get a nor'easter on Sunday. That's why.
Jesus Christ. So. God, the country is cold, but there's a lot of things that are going hot. So let's talk about some of the hot stuff, not so hot, and we'll lean up. We'll get ready with these fools. All right. Let's start out with, I wanted to
turn your volume down a little bit. You're a little too loud.
Gotcha. We're gonna go a little lower here. I'm coming in hot right out the gate, literally. So I wanted to talk about something that I keep on, and you tell me, I know you don't get out much. You stay home, you're a homebody. I am too, but I take the kids to school and I be ear hustling. I go to the bar and I be ear hustling. Everybody now, so we got Democrat, Republican, male, female, and every other box they try to put us in. Have you noticed now people are trying to like team up with the vaxxers and the anti-vaxxers, or the people that don't get the vaccine? Like that's like the icebreaker now. Yo, did you get your vaccine? Oh yeah, me too. I got it. And it's like now it's the cool kids get the vaccine, and then everybody else is a dope for not getting it. What are your feelings on that?
I think those people are idiots who want to be in that like tribal culture. Like, hey, I got the vaccine. Oh, why haven't you gotten the vaccine yet? Or why you got the vaccine? I'm never getting the vaccine. These two little corners that people are putting themselves into and trying to create a divide. And so already like everybody's like the biggest divide right now we have is rich people and poor people. And now it's rich people, but then the rich people have like, oh, you make $1 million, I make $10 million. Then you got the guy who makes $100 million. Oh, you make 10 million, I make 100 million. And you got the poor people who say, I make 50,000, you make 30,000. Oh, you make 20,000, I make 30, whatever. Like, oh, you don't got the new belt. Oh, you shop at Gucci, or you shop at Dollar Tree, or you shop at Family Dollar. Like, it's all about this materialistic shit that nothing matters. Nothing matters. People care about the most dumbest things in the world. And it's a little scary for me. Like I'm telling you, I get headaches, man, when I talk to like even some of my friends. It's like, fuck, what are you guys doing? Like, where's your brain at? Like, oh, I get a headache after I get off, and I'm like, yo, should I just be like a guy who goes in a cabin and just lives in the fucking woods by himself? Like, that's why I'm
starting to consider it too, bro. It's just the general population right now is just. They're really like, I think that's the best way to describe it. The way you said it, it's a very tribal deal now, and you need to be.
But it's everything. Like it's ridiculous. It's oh, you drink tap water. Well, I only drink filtered water. Or you only drink the soda, or I drink that soda. Like it's everything. It's so stupid. I eat Chick-fil-A only. I only eat McDonald's. Like it's really that like. It's down to that stupid thing, and it's been like that for a while. Because you got people. I'm only gonna touch Apple. I'm an Apple person only. Oh, you have an Android? Ew, you're broke if you have an Android. And I'm like, what? Like, doesn't make any sense. And then you don't even know what the fuck's in your phone or what's in your products anyway. So you're just talking out of your ass. It's just a status thing.
Yeah, 100%.
Infuriating.
For the Apple only shit, since I'm on that aisle, it's just less headache, a little bit more easier. But I get it. I mean, I try everything. I'm not a person that's gonna say no or not. On the vaccine thing, I don't know. I mean, they just had they had to tell Johnson & Johnson to slow down a little bit with their whole thing. I mean, I think it was 7 people out of the whole herd of people that they started to notice that were getting blood clot reactions. But I started reading a couple of headlines. You know how we do, no stories, just headlines. And they were saying that it could be a combination of things, not just the vaccine itself. So it's crazy. And then not to play doomsday guy, but I totally believe, bro, I gotta start putting stuff on the record now. That way I can say, like, I told you, I think we're gonna lock down again, bro. I know you don't want to hear that. I know you're one of the guys that's totally against that concept, but I totally think we're gonna go back to that again.
I think only the states that are really scared are going to, like New York and California. But I think the middle of the country and Florida, they're not gonna close.
Yeah. I'm talking about us. You on New York
Yeah.
side, me in the Cali side. Those are the guys that are really like moving the needle. Both democratically ran. Just because I don't know if you've seen, but 300,000 cases in India just exploded onto the scene. I think they broke the record for most cases in a day, or tied, or something to that case. They're running out of vaccines now. It looks like we're starting to hit some some turmoil. The CDC just releases 80% travelers can't go to certain areas. You need to have the vaccine. So they're trying to implement that, that travel card. We'll see how that goes, but at least for international flights, I ain't flying nowhere unless it's probably to Vegas or maybe New York again. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, it's really weird on how they keep trying to divide the kids.
It's sickening, because the thing is, like, if people still don't get this either, the vaccine isn't FDA approved, and people still don't get that. The vaccine is only for emergency use by the FDA, but the FDA hasn't approved any of these vaccines. And the reason why these companies, pharmaceutical companies, have immunity for the next 8 years is because they were emergency use and put out there. People don't remember this. I think it was for a Hep C shot or tuberculosis shot. I always forget what it is, but this happened in the 70s or 80s. They released one of the vaccines for one of those things, and they did it on the army first, and they killed 330,000 soldiers. But that doesn't get talked about. But what happened is that they've rushed that vaccine out and they kill people. Now, don't get me wrong. In the grand scheme of things, 330,000 people dying or soldiers dying is very small compared to the hundreds of millions of lives that vaccines have saved. Now, I'm not denying that vaccines work. My issue is that this vaccine is new and we haven't tested it thoroughly enough. Vaccines are 2 years, 3 years in development, and then it happens. And even if it comes out to 95% effective, you're still going to have the small percentage of people who have side effects anyway, even when you have a fully perfect vaccine. So I'm privy to knowing that there's going to be side effects to certain people. But we just can't go not live our lives for something that's 99.7% survival rate. It's lunacy. It's fucking lunacy.
I've said that I've agreed with you on that front. It's just really bananas for me to try to come to grips with the fact that we are a first world country. We have all of these advancements, but yet, our medical facilities, people can be overworked and shut down and broken is so quickly. I mean, we're not even. It's alarming to me that we're not even prepared if half the nation got sick again. Forget about COVID, just in general. That's not even a thing that they're looking at or fixing. A lot of hospitals did get handouts to help them, so they started writing COVID on everybody. So I'm hoping that they were able to do more stuff with that money, but I doubt it. And then you have the whole, medical insurance thing that's in the mix of it too, right? If you're not covered, you're probably not going to make it at this point. So those are compounding layers on this whole thing. I just wanted to touch on it because I know how much, that's a bit of annoying because I hear it now and everybody's like high fiving, like, yeah, vaccine, yeah, boom, boom. I'm like, you guys are silly. What is going on here? You try to put me out on the outside. So now what? When I go into social gatherings, I gotta lie because I don't have to show you no card. I gotta lie to you so that you could think I'm part of the cool clique, so you don't break my balls the whole entire time we're hanging out. You know what I mean? So
I'm like, suck my dick. I'm not getting the vaccine until I see evidence that it's official and FDA approves it. We're not gonna play this game.
No, especially with lives, man. Because we talked the last show.
That's the tough part, and we talked about this for a long time. Sorry to cut you off.
No, it's good. Go ahead.
But if the CDC and just the government was honest with us from jump, I don't think we would have been in a divide the way we are now, and people would have been okay. Like, hey, listen, if you're fat, if you have pre-existing conditions, hey, listen, if you have dark skin, not black people, there's dark skin Spanish people, Indian, whatever. If you have dark skin, you naturally have low vitamin D.
Right.
Just because your dark skin protects you from the sun.
Not at 100%, probably.
Exactly. So you probably more likely deficient in vitamin D, and the studies show that vitamin D is a main contributing factor of fighting this virus. But none of that was talk. The CDC just probably talked about it maybe a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. Like, why were you talking about this when 3 or 4 months in, when they were been talking about vitamin D and being overweight and having pre-existing conditions and being old, like all these things together
is crazy, because I was watching Bill Maher go off on this tangent last Friday.
That was fucking fantastic, by the way.
Right? He was crushing. I'm glad that she was dialed. The overweight thing has to be looked at in this nation.
Yep.
And I'm not fat shaming, and I'm not saying that I don't like
I'm fat shaming. I'll fat shame.
Or thing, because fat, people are people, bro. I don't judge. You want to do your thing, you want to do your thing. But, from an overall perspective, we need to start really focusing and dialing in at least healthier choices to eat. And I also get it. Some people live in food deserts, but you don't need to be always supersizing your meals or always getting Coke with your stuff or some of these other things that are contributing factors. But we really need to look at this. This is something that's alarming in this country. And we lead obesity more in any nation in the world. So obviously it's a gluttony thing, not so much, a thing of maybe a sickness or a disease or a mental health issue. It's just Americans want everything now. You know what I mean? And we want a beast, and we gotta eat 17 times a day. And even if we're full, we gotta eat. And the Yodos and the ring dings and all these other fucking things. Sugar's got to be a killer too. Sugar's probably more of a killer than fucking COVID at this point, and we're not even talking about it.
There's a joke that heroin and cocaine are jealous of the sugar.
Why? Because it's legal.
Because it's legal and it's more addicting.
Yeah. I mean, shit, I get it too, bro. It's crazy how the mind works, right?
Like, people don't understand, like, a small can of soda, Pepsi has like 48 grams of sugar.
Wow.
If people don't understand how much 48 grams of sugar is insane how much sugar that is.
That's a lot of shit.
And that's in one can. How many people drink maybe 4 of those a day? 5 of those a day?
I could smash a couple, right?
That's what I'm saying. You got that. If you eat a pizza, like eating pizza with a Pepsi, that shit is crack. And you drink the 16 ounce, or if you're chilling with your boys, you had the 2 liters there. You have 2, 3, 4, 5 cups of Pepsi, a couple of slices. That shit adds up, and the next thing you don't know, it fucks up. So like that's why I always had an issue when people complain about sending their kids to school with COVID. But at home, you're gonna give them a fucking Pop-Tart. You're gonna give them a Fruit Loop. You're gonna give them cereal with sugar in it. You're gonna give them whatever cake, ice cream, cupcakes, and sugar is one of the leading causes of heart disease in the country and obesity. And people it's fine. But COVID, there's 99.9% fucking survival rate. Everybody's losing their fucking mind. But little you know, you're gonna go eat a Snickers bar, and that's worse for you.
You know what it is? They haven't figured out how to monetize COVID. But they've monetized Coca-Cola, Pepsi, all of these sugar companies, all of these cereal brands. So that's why it's on the shelf all the time. I mean, we don't even, like I said, you've been banging on your chest the statistics of COVID. I've been banging on my chest like we need to start being more healthier, and I'll dumb it down. Start making healthier choices. Eliminating, sugar out of your diet a few times a week is enough. It's a start and it's a beginning. But I don't want to bury the lead in here, because it just seems like we talked about it when we first started shooting. I think our first episode was like January 8th or something like that. And we were like, man, these headlines, they just keep feeding us, huh?
Yep.
Over
and over again.
And they just keep feeding us. The kids just get, right now we good. We're obese with the news. I wanted to ask you, because I talked to a couple people off air and in my circle. Let me ask you personally, and then what do you think publicly? Personally, do you think, are you okay? Are you happy with the outcome from the trial?
I think what initially happened when everything happened a year ago, I thought it was egregious, and I still think it is egregious for what Homeboy did. I think he was a bad cop. His record showed that he was a bad cop. I think cops that have that type of rap sheet should be fired and not be on any force. I think people need to also, the states or the federal, we should have a open transparency and say, hey, listen, Officer Bryant 174 badge 745, you should be able to look that badge number up as an open, because it's taxpayer money anyway, and say, all right, this guy has a clean record. Or this guy, hey, he has 4 or 5 infractions. Why is Homeboy still on the force? Or what are these 4 and 5?
Like they do to us. Because all of our public shit, all of our records you can look up.
Exactly. So like, why does he have 7 beatings in the last 6 months? Why is he in 7 fistfights in the last 6 months? Like things like that would help, kind of balance and help catch people earlier than usual. I think definitely the body cam footage has helped. The young lady who did record the whole incident, I think if she did not record the whole incident from beginning to end, he probably would have walked. It was, the thing is that morally it was the right thing to do. He killed homeboy. He killed George Floyd.
100% in the street.
My concern is that I thought about this directly right after he got guilty, and I saw some of the videos. He didn't look worried. He didn't look like he had any remorse. And people don't get this, right? He can still appeal the charges.
Just but he's talking about that shit. What's the likeliness of him winning an appeal?
It doesn't matter. It's just him could maybe reduce the sentence time, or give his legal team enough time to knock off one of the 3rd degree charge or 2nd degree charge. So him getting guilty is, in the grand scheme of things, is fantastic, but we still don't know what's going to happen in 2 or 3 years from now. And hopefully that doesn't go under the bridge, because everybody feels like, all right, guilty is over, and it's not. We don't know what can happen. He can still for whatever reason, could have a technicality somewhere along the way, in a year or 2, 3 years, with an appeal. But morally, I think he did the same, a good thing, and a good thing.
Happy, even though we'll look at it short-sighted, without appeals, without
I think here's the thing that's kind of sucked too. Not kind of sucked, but he was guilty no matter what.
Right.
Going into it, I think that was because overwhelmingly everybody agreed that what he did was fucking wrong. I do think that the cops, especially the rookie guy who was there for 3 days, nothing should happen to him, and he should still be a cop. I don't think he should not be a cop.
But they release all these photos. I mean, you're gonna have to get moved, right? You're not.
That's fine, but he shouldn't go to jail. And he shouldn't, not be a cop. Like, people don't get this. People think, oh, he was there. Everybody's fucking Captain Save-A-Ho when there's a fucking video, and it's fucking annoying. Everybody's hindsight 2020 Monday quarterback. Yeah, I would have done this, and if I was there, I would have done that, and then he should have done this, and this person should have done that. People panic when they fucking trying to get on the bus, and people are behind them. You have to rush to get on the bus. You fucking drop your wallet. People rush when you're about to pay at a store and you can't fucking find what card to take out to pay for your meal. And people are going to talk about certain situations. Now, I get it. He's a police officer. He should have been trained better. But the guy was a thing. And then, especially when it comes to army, a military person, or even in the police, is a chain of command. So if you're chain of command, the guy who's been there for 16 years and you've been on the force 4 days, I think it was his 3rd day. Stand right there. Make sure nobody runs up on me. What are you going to do? To that guy. And anybody in that situation would have done the same thing. About 99.9% of people would have done it. What if, all right, I got to stay here. It's my 3rd day in the job. He's my superior. And if I don't listen to him, I'm going to get subordination. I could be on desk duty. I could be on traffic duty. And people don't think that way. They just think that, all right, he was there, he should have done something, and so be it. But people don't take into account how long somebody been a cop. And I feel bad for that guy. And I think the other guy was only there for a couple months too.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane when you start to look at the grand scheme of things and more accountability, and we'll get into accountability, wink, wink, in a second, but more accountability for the other guys in there. And then when you start to pull it back, you realize hey, one guy was a rookie. He ain't have no fucking say in the matter. They probably would have smacked his ass down. The other dude was there for an hour. He ain't got no juice. And obviously, homeboy, the guy who should be looked at the most was Derek's partner, because they had been.
If I'm not mistaken, the Chino, the Filipino guy.
Yeah, he was married to, I think, his sister.
Yep.
So, as partners, I think there's got to be a little bit more liability on your guy who's been with you. Let's say he running the streets 10, 15, 20 years, where he should have pushed him off, right? Where you should be yo, he's good, fall back, right? But we just don't know. And then another thing too, I didn't really watch the trial as much as I should have, but obviously he had a vendetta against Floyd. They had worked together at a bar, security. There was some beef there. Who knows what it was? And it led him to do those kind of things. I feel like for the most part, people are happy with the outcome, but
Yeah, for
now
sure.
we have two sides of the aisle, as always. You know, people talking about the outcome, and some people talking about, military and sporting getting involved in some of their positions. We got a lot of right wing people saying some stuff. We got lefties saying some stuff. What I wanted to ask you too, I think for now I'm okay with it. If there's an appeal and homeboy walks, then we got to look at it again. I'm more concerned that is this guilty verdict going to lend itself to other situations where less people are killed by police, and already that doesn't seem that way because someone was killed, whatever they were doing, resisting arrest or whatever, was killed during the trial. So to me, I don't know if I'm truly happy with the outcome, only because I don't think it's going to change anything. My next question to you was, do you think he received a fair trial? Because some people were arguing that, or some people in my camp were arguing that they should have sequestered the jury. They were letting those guys go home. They were letting them being influenced by media. They were letting them being influenced by a lot of information. And I'm not saying that the outcome wouldn't have been the same, but did he really get a fair trial? Whether it was, crazy circumstances, because I believe one of the points for the defense was like the exhaust from the engine got to homeboy. Another one was, he was on drugs. So these were kind of some of the things they were trying to push leading up to it. I don't care who you are, whether you're fit or not fit. You put someone's knee on somebody's neck for 9+ minutes. You're not gonna make.
Something's gonna happen. He was guilty the day of what he did, and everybody saw it. So like, for him, he was never gonna get a fair shake, regardless. I think, like I said, vast majority of people agree what he did was fucked up. If people, you got the far right who will say, "Oh, the guy was a criminal and he was on drugs and blah, 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 blah." I get that. Like, just because somebody was a criminal and was on drugs doesn't mean that he deserved to die.
Facts.
Don't get me wrong.
It's called due process, bro.
If even if the shit was a counterfeit money, give him a ticket, make him go to court, pay whatever
how many bills could he have had? It wasn't like he was moving weight, right? Like
Exactly.
it wasn't like $1 million.
So like the whole shit was stupid from jump. But I think like he wasn't gonna get, in a sense, a fair trial because he was already guilty by public opinion. Like if you got picked for this trial, there's a great chance that you knew what this trial was about and who this person was, and there was no way that was people were gonna let him walk.
So you think even if those jurors, they were already under the influence, because we all seen basically when he played judge, jury, and executioner, we all did too. Yep. So the fact that we seen it, he killed homeboy and he basically assassinated himself and his career on TV potentially. So right then and there, he signed his own death warrant.
And that was clear as day what he did. Now talking about the difference. Now we're gonna talk about this next case that happened yesterday or the day before. It happened yesterday morning. The young lady Micaiah, I hope I'm not mispronouncing her name, Micaiah Bryant, was shot and killed by police. And my friend was outraged already. He's like, "Oh look, if she was white, this would have changed." Blah 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 blah. That was the narrative right away. And I was like, did she have a weapon? Was the full story? What happened? Those were my questions first. Not that, that's fucked up what the police did. I don't know when I go into a situation, I like to know what's going on in order to make an informed opinion about something. So then throughout the day yesterday, more facts and more facts and more facts and more facts coming out. And then some people start changing their tune. And then the people who look stupid didn't change their tune because they're already on what we talked about in the beginning, is this tribal side. So from what you saw and from what you've heard so far, what are your thoughts on the whole thing?
So I had to watch it a couple times because there's multiple layers to this. First of all, I definitely think it's going to be extremely difficult to police in America now, right? Just because no matter what you do, if they're not white, you're going to be killed by public opinion. Okay, that's just one angle. Another angle to me is, I always like relating things to film. I don't understand why everything's got to be bang, bang to kill. right? Like what happened to like even in the movies, right? Like me and my wife were talking about this the other day, and we were like, even in the movies, they were like, yo, shoot him in the shoulder, shoot him in the leg, right? Like they're not even trying to like, if you're gonna shoot somebody, at least maim them, right? So now, obviously, video comes out, homegirl has a knife, and she's like lunging at the young lady's face, right?
Yep.
So potentially he might have saved someone. This is my cause for pause. Guns are powerful. I don't care what kind of gun it is. If it's not like a 22 piece of shit that's like a goddamn bottle rocket, most guns kill people and they're extremely strong. What would have happened? First of all, you opening fire in broad daylight. Number two, I get it. Like, you know, he told them to chill. Again, like you like to say, bang, 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 right? So here he comes. He's like, yo, what's happening? Homegirl runs up on him and is like, yo. And you trying to like, you know, figure out the situation real quick. And you're like, yo, chill. You already guns drawn. Now, before gun drawn, and this again is, you know, I've been in life or death situations. But I've never been in a life-death situation when it comes to me mediating the life or death situation, right? But I'm usually very calm. Would that have been an opportunity to tase her? Now, would the taser have been strong enough? Would she still have, you know, potentially killed the girl, right? Even way, because there's a lot of things that could have happened wrong. I'm concerned you shot her. What if you missed? Like he shot her like he was goddamn, you know, Mel Gibson in Lethal Weapon. Like, I got this. You know what I mean? Like he could have, shooting a gun is fucking hard as shit. Okay. Yep. And granted, he was close to her, but he could have missed. It could have ricocheted. It could have shot somebody. Like, I just felt like there was a bit of irresponsibility on his behalf. Also, too, if you see somebody like that, why are we so quick to pull a gun? I would have took a baton. You could have battered upside down the head. I'm not condoning violence, but I'm just saying, if we're going to use excessive force, there should be layers. We shouldn't go to the automatic, I'm going to kill you part. Right now, to kind of bring it full circle a little bit and kind of get you back in here so we can get a little bit of dialogue, because there's a couple of other things that I have calls for pause too. But I was just worried that he was quick to shoot her dead. Right, he saved the life potentially, but it could have gotten worse than what it was. I just think again, people seeing it was a fast video. The body cam. First of all, we're shooting right now on 1080 body cams. We're shooting on 1080 cameras. This shit should be like a 4K. If you got a body cam, that shit should be crystal. And there should be cameras all over the cars. Like, we really need to start looking at surveillance on how we're surveillancing the police within the police, on more accountability and what we're being able to see. Because it even looked like he was trying to touch it to turn it off. I don't know if you
a lot of those body cams, you have to turn it on when you do a call.
I get that, but after he made the shot, it looked like he was trying to fuck with it in some capacity to look like, I don't know if he was.
Maybe he was in shock.
Again, you know, someone that brought up to me in a situation that those body cams got to be on 247, and we got to start.
No,
come on, bro. Yes, dude.
No, because what if I'm in the car talking about, yo, I'm cheating on my wife? Like, I don't want people to listen to that conversation.
Got you, but it's the police job, right, to vet the video. And
that's too much. That's too much. You can't. It's impossible.
Really?
It's impossible. You think about it. Just put it like this, right? If there's 100 cops, right? If there's 100 cops and they do a 24 hours, right? If there's 100 cops, 24 hours, that's 2,400 hours of footage. You can't police that. Now you do 2,400 hours times 7 days a week. It's impossible.
But what if you could monitor it based on altercations like shootings? Like,
that's what they do. The cop has to turn on the body cam every time they answer a call.
Okay, that's fair then. All right.
So it's from the beginning of the call to when the thing. So like that video that they showed us wasn't him. They didn't show him driving in there. Once he got the call over the radio, it goes on.
Okay. Another thing that I was concerned about too, right? You got two women fighting, and I'm not saying, I mean, obviously, homegirl looked like, you know, she eats her Wheaties and shit. She was a tough looking chick. We just had mass shootings across America, right? Some of these guys were white gentlemen, some of them were other colors. All of those dudes were apprehended. You got two girls scrapping in the street, and you guys can't smash that? So I was just worried on how it was handled. Now, like I said, now the scrutiny is going to be weighed in. You know, at the end of the day, he saved her life. He saved that other girl's life.
Saved two of them.
Right. So, I mean, I don't know.
So this is how. All right. So I'm gonna explain it for the people who haven't seen it, who haven't heard it, or haven't seen multiple angles. So the cop pulls up to the scene. If you notice in the video, he runs out. he's going, hey, what's going on? Shorty that falls in front of him, there's video of the knife coming down. The girl who had the knife originally is coming down at the girl who fell at the cop's feet. So that's already alarm number one for the cop popping off. Like, oh shit, what the fuck is going on? She just swung a knife at the girl who just fell at my feet. That's the first thing. Then she's scuffling around with somebody else. She pins a girl to the fucking car, and she has a arm cocked back. And I'm screaming, stop, 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 stop. And who knows if he doesn't shoot.
Right. Because he would have been under more trouble if she got stabbed and he didn't do shit.
Exactly.
Right? That's what I'm saying. The policing thing is going to be very difficult to manage now.
So that's why with this one, I thought it was clear as day, clear shut. I thought it was fine. I don't think anything was made up of it. I just thought it was a lose-lose situation no matter what happens for the police. Because even if, all right, and you said you've been in common situations like this, but if anybody has ever gotten hurt doing something in a heightened state, if you gotten hurt, you get adrenaline pumping through your body.
100%. It's hard, bro.
So even if he would have shot homegirl in the leg, first of all, she was a big girl. So who knows how that would have affected her.
Right. Even if the tape going to rip that shit out and be like, fuck out of here. Bro.
And all right, so technically she was the one who called the police.
Who did? The girl that got shot?
The girl with the knife. Yes, the girl with the knife. The girl who got shot. Micaiah Bryant is the one who called the cops.
Wow, that's crazy.
They were trying to jump her. So when the cop pulls up, there's mad chaos. Now here's a problem that I have with people policing people in a sense where we don't want the police involved. There was like 5-8 people. There was a couple of grown men. There was a couple of boys there.
All those dudes posted up for the fucking, that's how they do.
It was World Star.
Right.
That's what it was. Why didn't anybody in the community stop the fight?
There's no sense of community anymore. No one gives a fuck about anybody.
Exactly. Now, also, the girl that fell in front of the cop's foot on the dash cam, if there's a video, it goes play by play. I mean, frame by frame. It slows it down. The girl who falls in front of the cop, one of the young men kick her in the back while she's on the ground down. And that obviously is not talked about because obviously somebody got shot and life took away. But the cops are there. Homeboy, young kid, kicks the girl who's on the ground, kicks her in the back. So if you're a person, I don't care who you are, unless you have elite Navy SEAL training, you're pulling up to a situation. You already got calls. Hey, I'm about to get jumped. There's people, whatever. You pull up, trying to assess the situation. You hear people screaming, yelling. You run to the curb. You see a young woman fall in front of you with another young woman swinging down with a knife in her hand. He sees that. Then also seeing that, he says, hey, stop. The young lady goes and she pins a woman against the car and she cocks her arm back with the knife in her hand, and you have to make that split-second decision. Now, people don't like to talk about this, but knives in this country kill more people than guns. And people when it goes to murders, people don't want to talk about hammers, bats, golf clubs, hands and feet kill more people than guns, and people don't talk about that. That once it's a gun, it's like, oh, blah blah blah. Now here's other scenarios I'll paint for you, right? So let's say if homeboy doesn't shoot her, he runs and tackles her, right? Let's say he runs, he tackles her, she then lunges forward, and she kills the other woman and stabs the other woman still. Oh, why did the cop tackle her so hard? Why did he have to, hold her down like that? That would have been probably one of the narratives. Here's another narrative. Let's say if he did stop her, grabs her, let's say by whatever instinct she's holding onto the knife, he falls on top of her, she falls on top of the knife. Oh, why did he grab her like that? Why didn't he tackle her the right way like a cornerback would in the NFL? It would be some stupid shit like that. Why didn't he tackle her like Ray Lewis? It would have been a more efficient tackle. It would have been just something stupid. Now here's the third scenario. What if he grabs her, she turns around and she stabs him in the neck? Like there's a whole bunch of narratives that could have played out and variables that nobody wants to talk about. And I get it, it's a heightened sense of thing, but this wasn't gray. This was black and white. Like homegirl had a knife and was going to either stab the girl in the stomach or in the throat or in the face.
On her face, bro. She was not holding back.
Exactly.
Going for a fatal.
And then let's say if homeboy did shoot her in the leg or in the ass, and she still stabbed homegirl twice. Oh, why didn't he take a kill shot? Or why did he shoot her faster or shoot her more? It would have been something. It's always going to be something. It's always going to be a narrative.
That's why I think it's going to be dangerous for police to police people now, because any little thing that's going to come up is going to be a situation. The only thing is that, you know, if you strip everything away and like you say, you keep it black and white, a police try to save somebody's life. How he did it, it could be up for argument, but also the climate that we're in, police are obviously taking black lives at a pretty higher rate than normal. They're taking other people's lives at a higher rate than normal.
Okay, I wanted I know you was gonna bring this up. I wanted to bring this up.
Go ahead.
Right. So in the year 2020, cops killed 457 white people.
Okay.
They killed 241 black people. They killed 169 Hispanics, and they killed 126 unknown in 2020 alone. Cops.
Okay. Right.
Now,
how many police died? Because my argument is not black, white, brown. These are just killing civilians at an alarming rate. That's my biggest argument, right? And that's the thing. Because I checked in 2018, we died 1,021. Yeah, that's how you say that number. People for the 2018 year. 108 cops were killed by civilians. That number is kind of at a different scaling point. Now, granted, there are other numbers that bring it in. There are 50 million stops annually, let's say, right? And so then when you look at it, it looks like a teaspoon in the size of a fucking pool. But still, I'm concerned that the police are getting, first of all, their number one a tool to shut shit down is guns, okay? Now, they only have to train their gun twice a year.
But I don't blame the cops. I blame
the institution. It's the institution.
I blame the system that doesn't or the people who we vote
accountable more for the way we do it. I feel like, you know what's crazy? The New York Yankees, I don't even know what their payroll is, but it's pretty fucking high. Okay, I think it was 300 mil? Right? The fucking NYPD's payroll is $6 billion. What the fuck are we doing here? Let's forget about the Yankees. The Yankees fucking suck. The Dodgers just won a chip. It was like 340. That's a championship team.
Yep.
For fucking $6 billion, you can't even get like the proper training for these guys.
You know here's another issue that I have, and we're gonna talk about homeboy right now. And I think he's done everything perfect until the two missteps he's had. And I'm talking about LeBron James.
Okay, I can't wait because
you have to have. See, like a person like LeBron James or any other public figure or any of the NBA, NFL, Kaepernick, how about when we see something that our community is doing wrong, we call it out. I've never seen these guys say, hey, listen, Dante Wright was running away from the cops. Hey, I don't think you guys should do that. I think you guys should, you should have just got arrested, got your ticket, paid your fine, and then you would have got your day in court. Or, hey, fellas, when you guys all those guys who were hanging outside of the front house that we were just watching these 2 women or 3 women about to fight.
Why the fuck shut that shit down?
Why the fuck didn't you guys stop anything? Hold ourselves accountable. Hold the human race accountable. Now
I agree.
Now that's the problem I have with LeBron James. They're gonna come out and say, takes a picture of the cop who shot the girl and says, "You're next, accountability."
And he didn't even know what time of the day the fucking Kool-Aid color was.
And it was no facts included.
Yep.
And the same thing what happened with the Jacob Blake thing.
Yep, another one too.
That's another thing where it was Jacob Blake's fault. But the cop, the entertainment, the woke culture, the left, nobody wanted to say, hey, listen, he wasn't supposed to be there. You weren't supposed to resist the cops. You weren't supposed to go into your front seat glove compartment. You had a knife on you.
Go down, bro. Go down, man. Live to fight another day, man. We gotta. That's really, to be honest with you, the message that has to start being screamed out. Like LeBron James, I get it. First of all, this is LeBron James's problem. LeBron James has too many people he answers to. Okay, and he has to have like 90 meetings before he can say something, right?
And then so he only falls on the sword of the woke. He doesn't fall on the sword of calling shit out.
And also, too, this young lady's from Ohio, so he's thinking like, I graduated from that team. I got to go back over there. I got to represent. I got to hold it down. But at the end of the day, my man, did you even take a plane to go over there and check on anybody? Right? Exactly. Did you go look at? Did you go meet and greet in the peoples? You talk all this stuff about trying to be with the community. When was the last time you was in the hood? Right? Giving dap, hollering at cats, being like, hey, yo, doing lessons, talking to people, right? Like, what's weird? This is going to sound crazy. To me, Kyrie Irving's stock is like way through the roof, and in the sense of social appearance, then I would say LeBron James is. Because LeBron James literally wants to sit on his throne and say things or tweet from his throne. And I'm like, you gotta come back down with the people, the king.
And like, the thing I could see also too, I get like, and it's a sad thing to say, but when you have money, right, people are gonna be out to get you.
Yeah, of course,
like,
I get that.
Look at Nipsey Hussle. He was always in the hood. He was always giving back. He was building up his community.
And they try to kill you,
and homeboy goes and somebody kills him. Now, I think LeBron James' status is so big, and his voice carries so much weight that he cannot mislead the people.
No.
How about you say, hey, listen, how about we start banding together? Like I just said, yo, guys, why are you letting these women fight? How about you get arrested properly?
Yep.
Hey, how about, listen, guys, if the cops mistreat you, there's body cam footage now. There's people who are in your circle who have phones that can record you now. And guess what? If the cops mistreat you, you're going to get a bag.
Yeah, for sure.
You're gonna get a payoff. You're gonna get a settlement. Now, don't get me wrong. It sucks if you take your life. That's a whole different thing. And I don't think anybody's life needs to be taken at all.
I agree.
But like, let's stop escalating all these situations. Let's band together. Kyrie should come out. KD, Draymond, Steph, Steve Kerr, Greg Popovich. Everybody always wants to fucking shit on America any fucking chance they get. And it's like we don't live in China. How about what's up, LeBron? Why your bitch ass stood quiet when they were fucking genocide in China, Hong Kong, and they were protesting that shit, and you stood quiet? The whole NBA stood quiet. You know why? Because it was about money at the end of the day. If you really cared about people, humankind, any shapes, colors, you would have said, yo, that shit is fucked up. Fuck China, blah, blah, blah. But guess what? Nike goes over there. They make their shoes over there. You tour over there. Your movies are going to get released over there. Your show gets released over there. And you're going to make money.
I'm going to throw a lot more people under the bus here. It's not cool enough to fucking hashtag BLM or put BLM or Black Lives Matter on your fucking house or your fucking Twitter account or your Instagram account. You got to be out there in the streets trying to do the best that you can do to try to make a difference. And that's all it is now. For the NBA players, I just put a fucking shirt on that says I can't breathe. I'm down with the cause, right? Now, granted, Kyrie, if I'm not mistaken, I believe he bought a house for the Floyd family. That was a very nice gesture. But we really need to start having more discussions, more education, more community leaders stepping forward and actually giving this situation a voice. And I've said it a long time ago, LeBron James literally doesn't have to do nothing but quit basketball, and that would say enough. Until things start changing, I don't play. I mean, Muhammad Ali was against the Vietnam War and was willing to fucking risk his world title. And he said, fuck it, I'm out. I'm done. Fuck y'all. I'm not playing no more. Right? But it's like somewhere from the 60s and 70s to 2010s, we've lost our whole deal. I mean, I think, potentially Jim Brown left the Browns because of that shit. He's like, I don't want to be, treated like a slave and just running back because y'all don't give no respects to blacks. So you know what? I'm going to go be an actor where at least people respect me. I'm fucking out of here too. Right? Like, I thought LeBron was trying to be that caliber of player.
Yep.
Right? But it's not really that caliber of player. It's only about rings. How many rings is enough, bro?
And it's about money. Because even when Charles,
bonuses when you win the title, you get bonuses when you play in the playoffs. You get bonuses when you don't tell contracts. They don't cut the checks, bro. They're cutting you checks. You getting cut checks left and right. Every single body, bro. We broke as shit. Fuck, I barely make 20, 25, 30. Even if I make, you were arguing about it earlier. Even if I make $50,000, the fuck is that? Exactly. That ain't nothing. Y'all motherfuckers are making $100 million. Y'all making $25, $30, $40 million a year. How many of those a year is enough? Like LeBron James is set
for the rest of his life.
It's set. Now it might be crazy because under these lights I look white, but I'm a Latino, and I was brought up with Latinos and blacks all day. These are my people. I'm trying to talk. If I had more reform, I mean, literally, I was in fucking Compton, knocking door to door, trying to change the mayor situation in Compton. I'm not even fucking from Compton, right? I mean, I'm literally sitting here trying to think about, okay, cool. Once I get some feria, some bread, some paper, how can I be more impactful? And you motherfuckers are just sitting on your thrones chilling.
And they just like keep throwing, like they throw money for education, and I get that. But talk to these young boys, talk to these young women. Say, listen, this fighting shit in these streets is not cool. Like, nobody wants to hold us as a responsible. You know, we don't like. I know a couple of guys who has had kids and are parenting from a distance. You can't parent from a distance. You have to be in the same fucking place, even if you're not with the mom. I've always said I have two good daughters. If my girl breaks up with me or whatever, and she has to move to Germany for a job, guess what? I'll be in fucking Germany too, even if we're not together. Because it doesn't work like that. You have the first thing is responsibility is to raise your kids the right way. You know, and I saw a post. It was like, so do we blame the police officers or do we blame the parents of the kids who you raised them for 18 years, who don't respect nobody, who don't respect the police, who don't respect authority? We come into this culture where, oh, you're not my dad, I don't fucking listen to you. You're not my mom, I don't have to fucking listen to you. I remember growing up, you had to fucking respect your elders. Anybody.
Got popped because he got popped. That's
right in
why.
the mouth.
Now you can't even fucking touch it. You can fucking breathe on him. Forget about it.
And like, even if like it was your aunt, you would get smacked up by your aunt, and then when you got home, you got smacked up by your mom and dad.
Bro, everybody, my grandparents whipped my ass, my aunts and uncles whipped my ass, my mom whipped my ass. The only person who never put a hand on me is because he was too busy fucking chilling was my pops. But everybody in the building whooped my ass. I even had, I grew up in, to give a little bit more transparency, I grew up around police officers, and even they whipped my ass. But we grew up understanding fucking respect. You treat people the way you want to be treated. You know what I mean? Like, you just can't fucking talk out of the side of your mouth and think there's zero accountability. And that's one of the things now, I think, with that whole lefty shit, that whole woke shit. You can just say whatever the fuck you want, and there's no cause for pause. Meanwhile, a cartoon's offensive, and we want to shut that shit down.
Only when it benefits them. That's the problem. Only when it benefits the woke culture. Because if a guy on the right was to say, fuck the police, I guarantee you that will be up in arms. But like, oh, aren't you pro Second Amendment? Aren't you blah, blah, blah? Aren't you free speech? But if it's only for the woke, it's only benefits them. If somebody on that side says it, it's okay. But if anybody on the right says it, it's a fucking problem. And that's another thing that we talked about in the beginning. Divide on what sides or what views you have. Like, I lean majority 95% liberal and left. But if I disagree with how this cop handled the situation, now I'm far right. How does that make sense? Like you get some people like, oh, you're a Trumpster. What? Because I could use my brain.
Fuck. Yeah,
I could use my brain, and I could think, and I can read, and I can assess the situation and see how. All right, this was wrong. Oh, this was wrong. Like with the Dante Wright situation we talked about last week. I'll just speak on this real quick.
Tell me, I'm listening.
If these two things are separate and both are facts. Homeboy should have not ran from the police, and she shot him, and she should be fired. Both statements are true and factual. She should not be a police officer. And the thing is that people on the left, the woke people, have to see it, or she shot a guy, and that is it. Nobody discussed. I didn't hear one fucking word of anybody saying why he shouldn't have ran. Like, come on. And then even that was fake news too, because he had a warrant for his arrest for something else. And it had nothing to do with the fucking registration. He just got pulled over for the registration. And then that doesn't even talked about either. But this news cycle is so fast, and people forget about so fast. It's about what's the catchiest headline.
It's weird. When the fuck, and I don't even know how to do this because we got so much shit to do. We got to work on the community, right? Everybody got to come together, figure that shit the fuck out. The celebrities got to stop fucking worried about their next goddamn paycheck. How in the fuck is the media not being accountable more? Like, before, back in the day, if the media said some shit, they would literally fucking release a statement and say, yo, we fucked this up. We're sorry. We're retracting the whole article, the whole news thing. Now they don't give a fuck. Every journalist behaves like Skip Bayless. And Skip Bayless is at least talking about sports. Who gives a fuck what the fuck he said? You know what I mean? It's like, well, fuck it. If it's hot, sell it. You know, and then they'll edit it so that you only see him pull out the gun, bang, bang. You know, we'll close it right till her arm came out. He shot a black girl in Ohio. And then fucking LeBron jumps on the fucking Twitter. Accountability, you're next. And it's like, bro, that shit all happened in an hour. Y'all motherfuckers are crazy. Twitter goes fucking bananas. I mean, I don't even know what the fuck happens on Instagram. People just post photos because there ain't no news on that shit. Because Twitter now is like the news fucking outlet of the planet.
It is. It literally is.
What happens there? It's like everybody's involved. Everybody knows what the fuck's going on. But when are we going to be starting to look at CNN and CNNBC and fucking Fox News?
And even look at CNN with the whole COVID thing that they came out last week with that whole thing that we didn't even get a chance to get to with one of the execs, you know, talking about we wish there was more deaths of COVID. We wish COVID would last longer. Like, that's a sad thing to do that. That story got buried too. Nobody talks about it no more. It was a day in, day out. And
that's because they fucking only give oxygen to the fucking cop brutality shit. And I'm not saying that excessive force is fucking, you know, not right, but they just keep on pumping that shit. And then there's another mass shooting, so we go cover that shit, right? And then we do mass shooting, cop kills black, and then we fucking balance it out with the weather and kitten videos. What in the fuck? What's happening? Now, another thing that I wanted to get your opinion in, because LeBron was hot yesterday. He was going crazy like a motherfucker. What are your thoughts on I Can Breathe Now with the date of the trial for the Shaw versus Floyd trial released by the Oakland Raiders? Did you see that?
I saw that.
First of all, if a player is going to be scrutinized for saying something, organization, shut the fuck up. Seriously, stay on the sideline. You're a sports fucking outlet. You're like Skip Bayless, right? Like, stay over there. You should not be, and I don't even know who the fuck they check to talk to that shit. Like, that shit sounds offensive. It sounds racist. Right?
Like, I understood what they were trying to get across, but it was just that people are so heightened and so emotional that they can't conceptualize what the Raiders were trying to say. They were it was basically just saying, hey, listen, this guy guilty now. Now we can say, look, we could breathe a little bit, saying, look, there's accountability now. The tide is changing. And I thought it came across wrong. But people read into it wrong because everybody wants to just be on a side and just want to be outraged. And that's the sad part, you know? And now leaning into changing gears here, you have the dog, the bounty hunter, you know, get the let out of taking somebody down. And I know in the UK and in certain places around the world, they have, you know, cops that don't want to work with guns. And I think the reason why we cops run around guns here is because the citizens are allowed to have guns here. Now, saying that, I think that's why I was for Andrew Yang when he said that every cop should be a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. I don't see why that's not a thing.
I don't see why that's not a fucking thing either.
You know, and I've never gotten this, and I've always said this even before any of this crazy police thing. How are there fat cops? How are you a fat cop? Like, it should be a thing, just like the Navy SEALs. And I get it, you're not a Navy SEAL, but there's no way.
You are though. That's how we're gonna start viewing this shit. If you're the police and you're on the guns and you got the right, basically, like you're like 007. I have the right to kill or license to kill. Then you need to be fucking trained like you have the license to kill.
And you should be in shape.
Yes. First of all, they should be treating that shit like the fucking NFL. Only the top of the top athletically gets you in. Only the top of the top mentally gets you in. So not only you got to be mentally stable, you also have to be you have to reach certain scholastic fucking achievements. Like, we need to be getting the best of the best. The problem is, and somebody in my corner talked about this too. You know, I looked this up because I knew we were going to get into this. The average police officer across the nation gets paid about $78,000. Right now, too, you and me, we kind of poor. That sounds like a lot of money. But to deal with all the bullshit they got, get the cat out of the tree, go deal with domestic violence, go deal with a traffic stop, go deal with narcotics, go fucking all that. That doesn't sound like a lot. So is it going to be a thing where capitalism plays its hand into this, where the demand goes down because everybody's going to start quitting, and now the salary is going to have to go up because you're going to have to entice smarter people to fucking play PD?
I think what they're going to have to do, which I was reading about, what they should do is for, let's say, traffic stops, you should have its own unit. There's no reason for cops to be wasting their time with high rate patrol. Like, why are you worrying about somebody speeding? Like, seriously, like it's a waste of time. You have most of these guys just sitting there writing 4 or 5 tickets a day, maybe, or with a shift. You know, car accidents. The police don't need to be there for a fucking car accident. You know, let us have a special unit for that. Like expand the traffic bureau. Expand that. You know, put more cameras out. You know, you have I know they have this thing where anyway in New York they have like the authority, the traffic police, to have cameras on their shit where it's reading the license plates as you drive by them. They have cameras on them and it'll show like, oh, you know, registration expired or whatever, you know, this plate needs to be checked in, this plate owes tickets and stuff like that. Like let those people handle the things now, you know, like, and then we'll see what we'll adjust accordingly on how the data comes back from having the special unit deal with traffic stops. And I think we should do it that way. You know,
yeah, defund the police sounds stupid. What we need to do is
ridiculously stupid. Yep.
Reform. We need to go back. Some of those fucking fat cats making 120 sitting in corner offices with all those fucking medals on their chest. Listen, you're done. We're cutting you off. You're out. Let's take all that money down. Let's promote some guys that are not making that money up. Maybe not get them to that high level. Maybe 100K. Because 100K you could eat. I understand. You know what I mean? Not everybody needs a fucking Benz, right? Because that's what we're doing. We're chasing Benzes and shit.
Mm-hmm.
We need to really restructure. Maybe those are the guys that need to start retiring. Not so much the foot PD. Maybe some of the dudes in the cushy jobs, right? It's like being a fucking senator.
What I like too that Shannon Sharp said, for every time as a civil violation, instead of the city having to foot the bill, it comes out of the cops' pension. And I guarantee you, cops will start policing cops more because now it's hitting the pocket.
Yeah, I know. I wish I've tried to get some police on the show, and they've been reluctant to come on because I'm sure I don't know if they got to sign like some legal docs and stuff like that. I try to get a couple of my peeps on. They definitely don't want to fuck with me. But I find it interesting to not only have that kind of accountability, but should we have an independent third party looking at some of these things too within the police department? Right,
well,
because
kind of do, but I understand what you mean.
Internal affairs is not working. It's not working. Not working. You've had it for 40, 50, 60, 70 years. We still got dirty cops. We do. We got to stop saying that they're not. Listen,
but
maybe
the issue is
10%, but we still have old school guys teaching. Like that was my biggest problem with Giuliani. Because, bro, we said it. How many times we were in fucking like stopped and frisked and done all this crazy shit? Like I can't even run in the fucking hood because God forbid, you know, I'm doing something crazy. But it was like they put all of these new police officers on, and they didn't even vet the dudes that they already had on, right? Yep. And so, from a culture standpoint, what you were saying earlier, to tie up the whole thing in a nutshell, rookie cops are going to do what veteran cops tell them to do. They're not going to rock the boat. They don't know what the fuck is going on. They're like, okay, we got to smash homeboy's head into the fucking glass. Then I guess that's protocol. We got to fucking, you know, step on a dude's neck for, 10 minutes. Then I guess that's how we do it. Like, what the fuck am I going to say? I've been here for 3 days. I don't know jack shit. Exactly. I'm trying to. You're supposed to train me, right? It was like if anything for us. If we had interns that were working for us, they're gonna do exactly what we tell them to do because that's what's supposed to be done, right? Exactly. If you're telling a guy, you counseling a dude on how to play call, and you're like, yo, every time you shoot, take a knee. That way, that guy's shooting in the air, you get a different shot. Then that's what we're gonna do.
Yep.
But it's a big portion on training. I also think that we didn't even touch on it too much about get the lead out, which is a slogan done by a dog, the bounty hunter. We definitely need to also look at non-lethal weapons. Okay, because obviously stun guns are not working. They're not working. It's so funny. I know you don't like this movie, and I know I always get you upset. You seen Bad Boys 3? The trash? You saw when he got hit in the face with a rubber bullet? That shit looked like it fucking hurts. Why are we not using rubber bullets?
True. The issue is like, what if the person has a gun?
I get that.
That's the problem. But I understand what you mean in certain situations.
Right, like that's getting back to what you were saying. Maybe there's different classifications of the police that show up, right? Like there should be police on scene, but maybe they hold the front, right? I mean, I don't know. It's definitely a very, very, very difficult and complex topic.
I think just real quick before we change, just to put this, I think just how humans, like you and I would like police you, you police me. I think that the issue is, and I've always said this, is that when they say there's no, not all cops are bad. I always say, but the good cops don't call out the bad cops. And it's not done enough.
The blue wall of silence, baby. They protect their own.
We can end it on there.
Yeah, that was woof. I don't know, for a dude that's not drinking, we'd be going ham. I think I'm gonna fucking beer. Golly, that non-alcoholic shit is not working, ladies and gentlemen. Gosh. Okay. This should have been so we're gonna go to our favorite segment, in the planet, news or no news. I should have framed this a little bit better. It should have been part of this, but news or no news, mass shootings are just climbing at an alarming rate.
No news.
Why not?
I think it's overblown by the media, and the classifications for mass shooting is like over 4 people, some shit like that. So it's a weird thing. I don't think again it's 400 million guns in this country, more guns than people, and you know it's happening in more democratic states with the most gun laws, the highest rates.
Hey,
Because
I
most
want to fucking look at that shit. The
'cause
places that have the toughest gun laws have the highest gun violence.
because most cities are democratic anyway, Democrats. So
Yeah.
that needs to be looked into.
Yes, I say news only because it seems like it's going on every fucking week, and the Democrats. I mean, I don't know what Joey's doing over there, but I haven't really seen any impact besides him shelling out dough for people. What much he's been doing in office, and apparently it's not even the Biden administration; it's the Harris administration. But we'll move on to the next topic. Maybe we could dig into that next week.
All right, we got Jake Paul knocks out Ben Askren. News or no news?
I say news only because it wasn't this dude supposed to be a former MMA fighter, and then now they're giving all this bullshit. His heart wasn't into it, this and that, it wasn't into it. But if you went to the I don't know what they do at the meeting, the showdown and shit, he punked the fuck out of him. Asking punked, Paul, and he got dropped with one punch.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Was he trying to get an easy payday? Was the ref? Are these guys trying to set up Paul for something else? I don't know. Well,
I said June 6th, Mayweather Logan Paul.
Is that a fact, or they just talk about it?
No, it's a fact.
Then that's the end of Jake Paul.
I say no news just because he needs to fight a boxer, a real boxer, and then we can see if you're tested or not. Yeah, I get it. You fight an MMA fighter, but MMA fighters are a little bit of everything, and I guarantee you, if he went to the MMA octagon, he would probably get tapped out.
Get choked out in a heartbeat for sure. Okay, so we were supposed to put this in the other segment, but we'll try to see if we can make it in here. So Tommy Lauren, Ben Shapiro, they weigh in on the verdict, right? I didn't really get into what they thought about, but it was a prelude to Brett Favre says that Chauvin didn't mean to kill Floyd, but of course it went too far. What do you, news or no news that Brett Favre is fucking weighing in on this?
I would say news just because everybody has, anybody with a name is gonna have anything they say is gonna have, especially Brett Favre. He's like an icon, he's a legend, and he's gonna have something he has everything that he says, no matter what it is gonna make sound waves. But I don't know. I don't know. We can't dictate what was in Derek Chauvin's head. We could just go by with the actions that we saw.
Listen, I say it's news, but it's no news to me because Brett Favre, stick to fucking Wrangler jean commercials and get the fuck out of this situation. You never really weighed in on anything serious like this. Sit down, cuz please. Do me a favor. Now Shapiro and Tommy, that's their arena, so they're entitled to their opinion. I gotta dig in further. Apple News has got to stop being a fucking bitch and trying to charge me for fucking news. Yeah. So that them articles, so I gotta fucking chase the whole fucking thing down. But I say news, you say news. Next,
Caitlyn Jenner is considered running for the governor of California.
I say news only because Newsom might get the boot. I don't know how much Jenner understands the political gambit, but in the same token, I was reading an article, in the 2/3 of the time they've been in California, they've never voted. So I don't even know. Right, so I
say news just because what the fuck do you know about anything politically when it comes to your state? I'm pretty sure they haven't voted, but they probably were agreeing with a lot of these stupid laws that California has right now, and I wouldn't be surprised if they leave California eventually because of how the high taxes are. Like
I'm thinking about it myself, bro.
And people don't talk about this no more. She killed somebody.
I was gonna bring that up. I didn't know if it was too soon, but
with her car, and it just went away like nothing happened.
It's called Stacks. She
Yep.
opened up a briefcase and she was like, "Check this out. Sign this little paper right here,
That's
and take
it.
it, and we'll keep on moving. Don't fuck with my Wheaties commercials, fucker."
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some would argue, what the fuck does that have to do with the price of tea in China? I'm just saying, like, it doesn't seem that she has her wits about her to be fucking running a state that's potentially ran like a country. All right, moving on. Matthew McConaughey is receiving about 45% warmth from the people in Texas, saying that they would vote for him if he ran for governor. What are your thoughts on that?
Let's say news, just because he's from Texas, so I don't think he would stray, even though he's a Hollywood guy. He's a big movie star. I think he would stay true to the Texas values because he's humble like that. So I wouldn't be afraid of him like doing stupid California shit.
I say news because I fuck with homeboy Hard Body. I was a little upset at him for having a photo op when he was giving in a mask and relief to hospitals, but I guess that's the price of admission. When you're a celebrity, everything's got to go on fucking Instagram. But I say news. Apparently his book is fire. I really digged his interview with Joe Rogan. The guy has morals and values that we could probably fucking lend on to a little bit more. He's a grounded dude. For a guy that has so much success and so much fame, he looks like somebody that's dialed. I wish he ran for the California governor, but if he ran for Texas and for whatever reason I ended up there, he would have my vote. So I would say news. Moving on. This one is actually, I'll ask you this because this I think is super news. The Kobe Bryant estate, which is basically ran by Vanessa Bryant, has decided not to renew their deal with Nike. What are your thoughts?
It's news because she's not playing with anything that is doing with Kobe's name. She's not playing around. So
What do you mean by that?
a little backstory of what's going on. So they're releasing Kobe Bryant sneakers at a limited capacity. So that means everything is limited. So everything is more exclusive.
Okay.
So she's like, no, like my husband, she knew Kobe's values and morals. She wanted everybody to have his shit. So now they're making money off of him. So let's say how your brother has those kicks. They're gonna release. They were not saying releasing those, but they were gonna release a lot of limited edition shit that they were gonna make Nike money. $300 sneakers, $400 sneakers, and you're kind of making money off Kobe. Because you have the license to I guess it says likeness for whatever that time period was. And she's like, no, fuck that. It doesn't work like that.
So what do you think? You think she goes to like Adidas or Reebok or some shit like that, or she just
the story in the street is that they might do their own line.
Okay, that's fair. God bless. Whatever she thinks is best. Obviously, that was his road dog. She obviously knows, like you said, his values and his core interests, and if that's what it was, and he wanted to, let the kids eat, let's say, then everybody should own a fucking pair of fucking.
I wouldn't be surprised if he had like a library of just videos left for her
to tell her like how to and what to do.
That and just like probably different stuff that
right. How to run shit type of shit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh man, I think I lost it. Anyways, we'll circle back. I was gonna say something, but I totally misplaced it. It's all right. NASA completes their first powered flight on Mars. News or no news?
News. I think it's dope that we need to innovation. Creates evolution, and innovation fuels technology and fuels the advancement of humanity. So the more we're trying to get to different planets and get to Mars and do shit on Mars, we're gonna reap the benefits of some of the things here. Like we got the electric, the wireless screwdriver from NASA because they were, we got Tang. Not much, but Tang became a thing. We got LASIK from that. So that's just a name a few things of what came out of NASA and people trying to explore the universe.
I say news because it looks like fucking Musk is taking us to Mars 2035. So, seats, kids. Here we go. We're gonna be fucking total recalling it in a hot second. Speaking of Elon Musk, news or no news? Fatal Tesla crash. Right? Elon denies that the autopilot was the reason for the crash. Feds are looking into it. Apparently, there was no driver in the passenger seat, from what I read.
So the I would say news just be
right. Yeah, go.
Just give me a little more context. So before.
Right. So when they so from what I read, I could be misreading it, but they were saying that it was like, so how it has the autopilot shit. Mm-hmm. You know that about Tesla, right? The car?
Yeah.
autonomous driving. That's what they're fucking pushing. Apparently, when they found the vehicle, I mean, I don't know if he got pushed out of the front seat, but they were saying that there was no driver, and these two guys were trying to figure out how dope the autopilot was. And now Elon Musk is saying that it wouldn't have been able to basically been enabled if somebody wasn't in the driver's seat. So,
okay. So then I would just say news, just because people always trying to get a leg up on Elon anyway. You know, like they're trying to. You got some of these people who are trying to like not want to have, you know, self-driving cars. You know, like you have some of these companies that it would be, you know, it wouldn't be good for them.
Yeah, Ford,
you know?
GM,
exactly.
Nice. Even the some of the Japanese companies and Asian.
And if people don't know this, but all the Tesla cars are the highest rated safety cars on the road.
Yeah.
And the Model X, the 4-door, like the SUV looking one, it can't roll over, and if it does, it will always land on its feet like a cat.
Wow.
So most people don't know that, but the way they design it is for it to always land on its feet. And they I know he's taking measures to you know, not have the autonomous shit crash. Like,
right.
It's not 100% yet, obviously, but it's very low. So I'll take his word for it. Yeah,
I say it's only news. I mean, it is news in the grander scheme of things, but I'm saying news because it's probably affect his stock prices. I think today they were in. No, Homeboy got so much bread, bro. But I'm just saying overall for the outlook of the company, it's news. All right, so this was a funny one to me because last week we were talking shit, right? And my man is innocent, right? So the fucking media, again, bang, 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 says that Aaron Donald, the Incredible Hulk, broke some dude's face. Video now released. Aaron Donald doing what we asked the people to fucking do. Be a community leader by being in the fucking jungle and pulling dudes off of other dudes that are getting rocked. So he was guilty by the way the press set it out, but obviously Donald's a really good dude. You seen the vid?
Yep. It came out the next day. And I was like, when we talked about it, and I was just like, you know, I need to see more information. I always wait. I need, like, and I know we live in a society that we need to know now. I just like to say his news because I think that the public slander needs, and the public slander, when they go to give the apology, should be just as fucking loud. Because I can guarantee you, people were shitting on Aaron Donald, saying, look, he fucked somebody up. And look at this NFL player, thinks he could do whatever the fuck he wants, and blah 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 blah, and
he's entitled, and blah 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 blah.
And then homeboys out there, fucking Bane in these streets in a safe way, Incredible Hulk, making sure nobody gets hurt, and he's the one who said that. And that guy is a fucking cocksucker. And he owes Aaron Donald a fucking apology because the fact that you could go and get a lawyer and go and sue Aaron Donald for fucking assault. And then there'd be somebody going to arrest Aaron Donald. It's fucking crazy. What if there was no video?
Yeah, Donald would have been like in the cut in the guy. He would have been looked at like Indomitian Sue, if not worse.
And you would have been fucked because it would have been just by public opinion. And this person said something, it's he said, she said.
That's it.
So I think it's news because of that.
I say news too, and I say news in the sense of this should be a lesson. We shouldn't be all rushing to shit as soon as we hear some whack ass news outlet say some shit because all they want to do is get ratings. So I knew it. I said it on the wax. Even if he did, I'm like, it's Aaron Donald. I don't know why you fucking with Aaron Donald. He's a fucking monster. We seen Chase Claypool look like a giant amongst the average folks. I could only imagine how big Aaron Donald looks on fools. But I'm happy that he was obviously, Aaron Donald looks like a good dude. So I already knew the story was kind of weird. It just didn't sit right with me.
Yep.
News that he's a fucking fantastic dude. Because he went into the fucking eye of the storm and was pulling motherfuckers off like it was a comic book.
And you see his homeboy, just to add on this real quick, his homeboy, which is, if you are a famous person or if you have a lot of money, you need a guy like that, his boy. Like, yo, fam, we out. Don't like, you broke up the fight, but yo, we leaving. Because we don't know what could happen.
Yep, let's boogie. Let's boogie. So kudos to Donald. All right, the last of the news and no news is the Kardashian. It says curse, but I like jinx better because we're gonna refer to sports. Is the Kardashian jinx real or not? News or no news? Lamar Odom does not believe so.
I say yes. and by a long shot. Like it's
Facts.
proof after proof after proof after proof. You got
Yay, Reggie
Ka-
Bush.
you got you got
That kid
Kanye.
the point guard from the Pistons who can't fucking shoot from the field. Like anybody who gets around these guys, except for my man, who's the girl the younger one that's famous with the makeup. She's dating Travis Scott, and Travis Scott still drops fire, or has Travis Scott music went down?
I don't really listen to Travis Scott, so we're probably in the same boat.
Probably his shit went down.
Maybe
because if it was fire, the only Travis Scott shit I see was fire was him and Drake. I guess
exactly.
Up and downhill.
I say no news. Matter of fact, I'm gonna switch. I say it's news just because the fact Lamar just probably he still probably loves Chloe and is just
Chloe seems like the nicer Kardashian.
Yeah, and she's just trying to show out and show love and say you didn't do anything wrong. Like they are a lovely family, and they probably are, but they seem like super high maintenance, and women in general, Kardashians or not, can drive you crazy. So
I agree. I say news only because obviously they're gonna have kids. This is technically the Kardashians are like the royal family of the USA, and that name is gonna ring bells for a long time. And I think that if they continue to blueprint it as being Instagram centric, and in the sense of trying to get all the eyeballs, it's gonna be hard for you to fuck with them and try not to I don't know, be pulled into that spotlight. I mean, one of the things that really always irked me about Kim K, and I'm not mad at her for getting her dough, but Reggie Bush wins the Super Bowl and you feel like you need to go and sit down while he's interviewed by the NFL. Who the fuck are you? You don't even play sports. I've never seen any woman do that. Never Tom Brady's girl, Aaron Rodgers, whoever the fuck he's dated, Peyton Manning, whoever the fuck he's dated. You've never seen anybody's woman sit down.
That's mama. That's mama. Yo, get your ass in front of the camera.
Well, she's a G. Shout out to her. Shout out to Mama Kardashian. You are allowed on my show all day, every day. I love you. You are the smartest entrepreneurial female I've ever seen. Your swag is fire. I'll fuck with you all day, girl. Genius. All right. So that takes us out from News or No News. What's our next segment coming up? Hello?
All right. So we got to run the leagues. MLB, NBA, maybe we throw a little bit of soccer in there.
Football.
If you heard about the little Super League. If you haven't, I'll let you know what it's about.
I like it. I like that we always get a little bit of guest appearances on the around.
So the Oakland A's won 11 straight. What are your thoughts?
So I'm gonna be in two minds, and we'll keep it tight so that we can run this shit down the wire easy. So first of all, I think it's news. I shouldn't say it's news. I think it's interesting because the A's every fucking season are good. They're way above 500. My man Bean is just a printing press up there. He just figured out something with sabermetrics that just gets the best players on the field all the time. They're scrappy. Now, the Yankee fan in me is not before the break, so it doesn't matter. So I'm of two minds on the matter. I think it's great that they've won 11 straight, but at the end of the day, show me what you could do after the break, and then we can talk.
My thoughts on this is like, okay, that's fine. They're on a hot streak. And many people don't know this, and it always gets pulled under the rug when people start talking analytics and the sabermetrics and all this fire shit. Billy Bean and the Oakland A's have never won dick.
Right. That's the main problem.
So even if there's all this on base percentage and WAR and whip and home runs and fucking home run trajectory angles and bringing in 7 pictures every 4 innings, that can all suck a dick because it doesn't work.
Right.
It does not work.
I think that the Boston Red Sox and the Dodgers have proven that it does work. The problem is you also need high-paid players to
But again, that doesn't mean that means it's 85% player and 15% analytics. Because if you have the talent, then it's gonna take you places. So like, all that small ball shit is cool because if you want to save money, but it rarely works, and evidence shows that. Like, cool, Marlins won, fire, cool. Red Sox won it once, cool. The Dodgers didn't win it with a small ball. I'm like Billy Bean, small salary. Their salary is fucking $350 million. So you got The Oakland A's probably $10 million. Cool, but they haven't won anything.
Do you think it at least works to be competitive every season?
I don't give a fuck about being competitive. It's about winning.
Got it. I'm with you. I got you, baby.
It's winning and losing. I'm not in between just being around. I don't want to be. I don't want to be a Memphis Grizzly. I don't want to be an Indiana Pacer. I don't want to be an Atlanta Brave. I don't want to be fucking an Oakland A. I want to be I want to have a chance to win a championship and be in a championship and win a championship.
I got you, bro. That's why I knew it was gonna stir you up. That's why I put it there. All right. I didn't know this because it was COVID, so they put this shit in 2 years ago, but they started implementing it to speed up MLB games. They put a man on second after the 9th inning if it goes into extra innings. Do you think it helps, hurts, speed up the game? Does it hurt teams that have weak offenses? Well, how do you evaluate this thing to help make games go faster?
I think it's stupid just because it's like you're not giving somebody a chance.
Right. That's what I thought.
To earn the win. Because you could just put somebody on there, pop fly to right field in the corner. They could tag her from second to third, and then
that's what single. I said. So now this is my question: would it have been better to put a man on first because that's 3 outs? So technically, you would have to actually manufacture a real run because to put him at second, a pop out gets him to third, and then a bloop gets through, and he scores. So I feel like a man on first is more logical. What do you think?
That would make more sense to adjust the rule if you're gonna adjust it. Yeah, I would say don't put nobody at all.
Agree.
And just the thing is that we don't talk about the last 5 seconds ago. Analytics has hurt baseball.
Yes.
It's Gary Sheffield came out this week and said that baseball he doesn't watch it anymore. He just can't watch it because you have these guys who strike out 200 times a year, 300 times a year, and it's okay because they're getting 100 home runs 100 RBIs, 40 home runs, 30 home runs. Like, where's the purity of the game? Where's the on-base percentage? Where's your walk-to-strikeout ratio? Where's all these bunting the guy over? Hitting and running. Stealing if you're on first base, stealing, shortstop has to come over if you're a righty, and and you hit the fucking ground ball into the shortstop area. Get rid of the shift.
The shift's gotta fucking go.
Let them manufacture more runs. People like to see points.
But you can't move the whole fucking infield right if all he does is spray to right field. You just literally killed the whole fucking game, bro.
Now, what makes it more whack, too, is, though, that bitch-ass hitter needs to become a better hitter and be able to hit all over the field.
Facts. You're getting paid $20 million.
You getting paid whatever you getting paid. Even if you get paid, let's say, for instance, people still don't quantify this, and people still don't understand it.
That's why I like talking to you about this shit. Tell me, baby.
If you got paid, if a regular person, let's say for whatever, if we got paid $300,000 a year, let's just say, for instance, on the low end. That's for low end for MLB.
Let's say,
$300,000 is a lot of fucking money.
That's a grip. Right now, where I'm at, that's a grip. I might as well say million. You might as well.
Right? I'm just saying 300,000, right?
To me, that's a lot of money.
It's a lot of fucking money, period, right?
Yeah.
And then on top of that, what you're doing to get $300,000.
Not that hard, technically.
You're fucking playing baseball. Like a kid's game, you get to play it and get paid professionally to do this thing. And you can't hit the ball. You can't hit the ball to the opposite end. Like, they gotta put all the fucking fielders, the infielders, to the right side of the field because you can only hit right. Like that's something wrong with the batter. And I get it. Like, strategically, that's if this guy's always hitting to the right.
Yeah, fucking smash him. I agree. I'm with it.
Like,
it's not the coach's fault.
Now that guy who can only hit to the right side of the field should be in the minor leagues.
I agree with that 100%.
Why isn't the guy that in the minor leagues who's hitting all over the field, why is he not up? Even if, let's say, he hits 10%, his batting average is 10 points less than the person.
I agree.
Why is he not in the league? Because now you don't have to worry about the field will always be open. It will always be a guessing. So that's what, shit like that is ruining baseball. And baseball was my first love. And when I played it as a kid, it was growing up in high school playing it. It got boring because everybody was just so annoying with the analytics, and that's 10 years ago, now it's worse. It's worse. Like, I don't even know what the fuck WAR is or WHIP. Like, and that's like the people love Mike Trout because his whip is fantastic. Like, what the fuck?
Mike Trout is the fucking Oakland A's of baseball player. Like that. All right, I want to get you really angry now because your boy's been banging on his chest like motherfucking King Kong in the building. The motherfucking Knicks, baby. The Knicks, daddy. Let's go. Let's go. All right, before I even go to say this shit, Julius Irving, MVP.
Julius Randle?
Sorry, Julius Randle. I believe he should be the MVP, bro. He's going hamon. Before I let you in, so the Knicks right now, I think I might have wrote this wrong, but I think they're 5th overall in the Eastern Conference standings. What are your thoughts, bro? Are they fucking smashing it or what? Let's start with that one. Are the Knicks playing better basketball in your opinion?
Yeah, I would say they're surprising me more than I thought they were.
You don't believe? Is it worth talking about now? Are they newsworthy now?
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay.
Again, I think it's dope. Again, like here's the problem that we had. Like I had an issue that we had earlier when we were talking about this when you first talked about it. Like you were hyped that they were 500, and that shows just that. And I'm saying, and it shows how the level of how bad the Knicks have been for so long.
Yeah, that we're happy.
You're excited that they're at 500. You know, and like now they're above 500, which is cool.
32, and I think 17 or 18, some shit like that.
They're the 4th seed. They are 32 and 27. You know, it's 7 games back at first place, which is fine because the East is so close. But it's a great thing. Well, like when historic franchises are in the mix, like Lakers, Knicks, Nets, like 76ers, all these Boston, all these historic franchises are in the mix. It makes it more exciting. And I'll be the first one to admit, in the beginning of the season, I didn't believe in Tom Thibodeau because he's never won anywhere he's been. But he has these guys playing.
Okay, so he got them playing. Do you keep them next season? Obviously, yes, right?
Yes.
Have you watched any Knicks games this season?
Some, not a lot. Maybe like 4 or 5.
Are they playing cohesive basketball? Like, is this something to build off of for the future?
They would need they need a piece. They definitely need a point guard.
Okay,
definitely need a point guard. Alonzo Ball along those lines. I think what would be pretty dope, which I don't see ever happening, would be Steph coming to the Knicks.
Wow, that's a chip.
He wanted to be drafted by the Knicks. He did not want to go to Golden State. The Knicks said they were going to draft him when Mike D'Antoni was the coach. And the Warriors saw the gem, and they stole him. But the Knicks, they're the Knicks. Until I see something they haven't won in 40 years. They haven't won since 1973 or 72, whatever the case may be. And until I see them, be consistent, show that consistency, and get in the playoffs, go, a couple rounds. Last time they've been there was when Melo was there. That's what, 2014, 2015.
I wouldn't even count that shit. The last time they were there was with Patrick Ewing and Starks. Fuck out of here.
So that's even 25 years ago, 20 plus years ago.
Hey, that's a lot. That's like a long time ago. So this is my next thing. What about Jules? MVP, at least in the running, bro. 40 and 10 average. That's beast mode. You got Harden a little injured. LBJ's been injured. I know you told me before because I remember how you holla at me that once the writers get a narrative. But come on, man. Then this guy's literally putting that team on his back. Granted, the East is whack, but still.
He'll definitely get a couple of votes. He'll probably be like the fifth or sixth. But the MVP right now is the Joker, Nikola Jokic, up in Denver.
Oh, that's right.
MVP. He's been consistent all year. He's averaging 26, I think 26, 11, and like 8, or 26, 11, and 9.
That's a fair argument. I'll give it to him. He deserves it.
Jamal, he's been in the whole season, hasn't been hurt.
He's a beast.
Joel Embiid got hurt. If Joel Embiid wasn't hurt, he would have been the MVP. But he's missed too much time.
Harden was the favorite after LBJ went down, and now he's missing time.
And that's over for him. Yeah, so
it just looks like he keeps moving around.
It's a little weird. And then like Steph got in this little crazy hot streak over the week. And he's passed. But he was smoking drugs, saying that he has to be the MVP. I love you, Steph. You're like one of my favorite players to watch, but you can't win anywhere if you're not in the second seed and up of MVP. You can't be in the 9th seed. Talk about you the MVP. It doesn't work.
So that's how you evaluate it. You
got to be the best player on the best team.
Okay, so that's fair. So then, by that standard, my man is not in the building.
Like nowhere near, not even in the parking lot.
What? what? What if the Knicks go crazy? And I'm not saying this helps his MVP status. What if they get to 2? Because the East is trash, like really bad.
Yeah, it's still open. Hopefully the writers don't,
I don't care about the MVP thing. In your opinion, on the sense of making the Knicks relevant in your mind, if they climb to 3 or 2, does that make you even more interested, or no? Still not.
That'd be dope for New York, man. Like I love anything New York. Obviously I'm a Lakers guy because I'm a guy Kobe, and I'm a Yankee fan. But anything that brings, New York is the capital of the fucking planet, and for whatever reason, we're not at the top of the food chain when it comes to sports, and it's very disheartening.
Yes, it is. Breaks my heart.
But it's the nightlife that ruins our athletes.
I could agree with that. Speaking about nightlife ruining athletes, what's going on in New York City, the Bronx specifically? The Yankees are terrible. They're playing right now. I don't know if they're up, but when I wrote this, they were 6-11. Should we start looking at new coaching? Is it we last week? Obviously, our shit went fire on Instagram because I was yelling about you can't keep Stanton and Judge healthy. What's the problem with the team?
It's that continuity, man. For whatever reason, you can't manufacture it. And yeah, we're 6-11. We're in last place in the division. We're just off to a rough start.
Are they the opposite of the A's, where there's this mentality now because of all the talent, we don't start the engines? Because I argue with a guy, he almost made my neck in the sense of my veins and my throat fucking losing shit. He said that the New York Yankees don't play baseball until after the break. Is that a problem?
That too. And here's another thing. We kind of, I think we panicked and we went down the path of a little bit of Oakland A.
Tell me.
We went down the path of, we saw a rival win the division win in 2018 or 2017, whatever. They won, and they won it by small ball. And then for whatever reason, it's like, why? Since when have the Yankees ever fucking worried about the luxury tax? And they've been worrying about that the last 4 or 5 years. And I'm like, for what? Why are you trying to be frugal for? Your pops wasn't a frugal guy. He went out, he paid the money, he got fucking stars. Like, what are we doing here? Look at the Dodgers. They went out, they're spending the money, they're in the chip almost every year. They've won the chip. If the Astros weren't cheating them, they probably could have had 2 chips.
It would have been a dynasty by now.
Exactly. And like, why are we not spending bread? Like,
but we did. We just dropped 350 on our boy.
We have Garrett Cole, right, and Giancarlo Stanton. That's right. It. Those are on contracts.
That's true.
Aaron Judge is not getting paid like $30 million a year. He's not. He's still like $8-9 million. Like, it's very low.
Still on his rookie deal?
Yeah, because that's the thing with fucking baseball. They cocksuckers.
What, arbitration and all that shit?
Yes.
Wow. So how long is that contract that he's been on?
I think after next year, after this season, he becomes a free agent.
Wow, that's crazy.
And he's not young. He's not young. He's like 27, 28.
Right.
Because he was in the minor leagues for so fucking long. And that's the issue that I have with baseball.
My God, what in the flying fuck?
Exactly.
Okay. You put your GM hat on, or you put your owner hat on. If you're saying this, Brian Cashman has been the general manager for 30 years. Is it time to get Brian Cashman out the fucking building?
You notice the difference at the changing of the hand when it came to, George Steinbrenner, passing away. Then you have Hank Steinbrenner in there, and for whatever reason, he's being frugal. Like,
to buy more yacht.
Exactly. And the issue could be, who knows, Brian Cashman's probably handcuffed,
He's like, yo, you can't.
Why didn't we go get Machado?
Right.
Why didn't we do the grapevine? Yo, fucking Mike Trout. Fan. Right. 600 mil.
Agreed.
Why didn't we go for
how to fucking sneak Mookie Betts from the fucking Sox?
Exactly. Why didn't we hit up fucking Arenado? He said he wanted to be a Yankee. He grew up being a Yankees fan. Yo, what's up, fam? They owe you that? All right, we're gonna match that. I'll give you a little bit more.
We were talking off air about listening to your fan base, listening to people when it came to game companies. Do you think it's doing the Yankees a disservice that as soon as if a guy comes out and talks to the media, I always wanted to be a Yankee, why would you not get him if he's good? That sounds stupid. That shows me you're not paying attention, right or wrong? Am I wrong on that?
No,
Right?
you're right. You're right because it doesn't make any sense. Like, why
No,
wouldn't you go get him? I don't know why we didn't go get Mookie Betts. I don't know why we didn't get Mike Trout. I don't know why we didn't get Arenado. You know, like all these guys over and over and over and over again. You know, and it sucks. And we let Didi go. I know Didi wasn't Derek Jeter, but Didi is still a great shortstop. And I get it,
clubhouse leader.
and I get he had a weird injury. You know, like that's why they were playing on it. But we let him walk, and now he's doing his thing. It's just I don't know where the state of where we at. It's still early.
We didn't sign my boyfriend, the right fielder from the fucking from the Phillies.
No, I don't like him. I don't like no, he just
Bryce
Harper.
Yeah, Bryce Harper's a lefty. He would have been crushing that right deck.
But if he was a 280 hitter, I would have been with it. But he's a 240, 250.
But I think he's a 250, 240 hitter because he plays in the National League. If you brought that dude to the American League, you made him the DH. He obviously does not like playing right field. Okay. Have you ever seen him play right field, bro? He's like, I make way too much money to chase this shit down.
Well, most guys who suck, they put them in right field.
I get it. But would you have Giancarlo Stanton who can't stay healthy for a fucking lick, or would you rather have Bryce Harper? I would take Bryce Harper in that deal. I would trade. I did it once during a franchise. I traded Giancarlo Stanton for Bryce Harper. That's a better fucking setup for me. And he's a lefty. He would dominate right-handed pitching, especially in the Bronx, especially in Boston. Like, think about where they're going to play. Camden Yard. They're going to play in Toronto. Like, the places that home runs are ridiculously destroyed. His numbers as a Yankee would probably be bigger than him playing in the National League. He plays in pitcher parks, and he plays against really great pitchers. And of course, his numbers suck.
I mean, if he would have, the thing also too was his attitude. Because remember, he got into it with Zach Greinke. Bless you. He got in with Zach Greinke.
Thank you.
When not running out a ground ball. You know, like.
But I mean, we can say the same shit about Reggie Jackson. And he was the fucking straw that stirred the drink. And Reggie Jackson didn't want to fucking run to first. What I'm saying is, when we've talked about this 100 times, these guys are super paid. They don't want to fucking do shit. Bro, I'm used to hitting home runs. I don't run. You understand? I don't chase balls down. I hit 50 home runs, 100 plus RBIs. I just trot around bases.
If you're not winning, that spoils over. You know, like when you.
I get it, but the fucking Nets, they weren't whack. It's just for some odd reason I don't even know how this is possible, but the National League East is crazy. Like, the fucking Marlins are good in that fucking division. Like, it's so random. You get the Mets, you get the Phillies, you get the Marlins. I think the Pirates are in that division. I think
Braves.
That's a lot of good teams,
yep.
Right? So, like, it's one of those things that is like football. Like, somebody above 500 is gonna get out of there. But I don't want to kill it. Yankees. Fucking wake up call. There's a lot of teams that are getting wake up calls. I can't believe the fucking Knicks right now are playing better ball than the fucking Yankees are. Another fucking team that's got me alarmed. Is it over? Should we stick the fork? I was fucking gushing on the Nets. Is it a wrap? It looks like it's a wrap.
The fact that they can't get healthy is it's
concerning.
It's very concerning.
We got fucking LaMarcus Aldridge retired. Kyrie Irving plays whenever the fuck he wants to play. KD injured. Harden injured. Harden just got a setback. Fucking KD just came off the injury list to go back on the injury list.
He might play tomorrow night, but they haven't confirmed or anything like that.
Shut him down. Have him play simulated games and play in practice. Bring him out for the playoffs. Why are we fucking trying to make this guy play regular season games?
I guess he's trying to get the continuity, man. He's only played 20 games in the last 2 years.
He's a fucking beast. Just listen. I would tell him, look, go watch all the Reggie Miller tape you can watch, and you run to spots. That's it. You don't even get the ball. You get no ball. You run to spots. You don't even got to run. Jog to the spot, and we'll be able to notify you and give you the rock. And you can shoot threes all day or post up. I mean, obviously, it's another leg injury. And from what I was reading on Twitter, it's the same leg injury. Is he done?
Well, it was a tie. It was. He got a Charlie horse. That's all it was.
Okay. Because I know you know a little bit more about this basketball shit.
He wasn't like it's not a knee injury. It's not an ankle injury. He got a knee to the thigh. So he basically got a Charlie horse. And he's a $170. So like that, it was probably bone on bone. So that's why it probably hurt. And probably sore. Probably keep him out. Kept him out for a week or whatever. Because it was a knee to the thigh. And if you ever had a knee to the thigh, that shit hurts a lot.
Well, I've had a table to a thigh and I'm down. So forget about it. I'm old now.
So I think the injury is not too bad. I think it's a little bit overblown, but it's a little crazy. I was surprised when LaMarcus retired. James Harden being injured, it was a little stretch too, because for the most part he's been Iron Man, like him too. Like he's been a little bit of Iron Man. And his game wasn't really a lot of, fast paced twitching stuff. It's all his pace, methodical. He's not a high flyer, and for whatever reason he must have slipped somewhere or tripped on something to re-injure that
the club making it
probably
rain.
in Miami or something, because that's when he went to Miami. He was there. That's the road trip. But I think they'll be fine once they once they get in the court. If they get in the court together, it's over. I could see nobody stopping them. Nobody beating them. I say Clippers, Nets in 6.
Not even my Knicks. My Knicks can't beat them in 7.
No. All right, now we're gonna talk about something else that's not on the list.
Okay, what do you got?
I think it definitely deserves an around the leagues, and I want to say this because I think this is fucking tastic. Deshaun Watson.
Ooh, this is the second time he makes it onto the around the leagues list. Here we go.
I think homeboy. I appreciate this guy sticking to his guns, and once everything's cleared up, I hope all the slander, again, like we talked about Aaron Donald, the apology is just as fucking loud as the slander. So we're gonna we have at my ESPN.com right now. His lawyer comes out and says that
Rusty
Harden comes out and says that majority of these lawsuits are bullshit. Out of the 23 lawsuits, one lawsuit so far has been one girl has been completely discredited, and that case has been dropped. So we're still at 22. Now out of the
21. If they dropped one.
Well, I'm reading here. It said 23.
Oh, okay.
That were filed.
Okay,
March 16th to April 14th, 23 lawsuits were filed against Washington.
So we got one down, 22 to go. Okay, let's start.
22 to go. Now, he breaks it down. So now,
was it plaintiff 8? I know he had a problem with, like 8, 6, 7, and I think 5 of the Jane Does they looked at. Did they number it like that for you?
So now the way they're doing it, right? The way he's coming across is that the way he wants to do this is that, all right, since everybody knows who I am, I'm Deshaun Watson. Everybody knows who I am. His lawyers coming out saying, all right, all you women have to come out. No more of this Jane Doe 1, Jane Doe 2, Jane Doe 3. You need to come out. Enough of this hiding into the thing. So, let me see right here. Watson's legal response alleges that after 8 of the plaintiffs messaged him, bragging about and praised and were excited about massaging Watson after the incidents. So let's say
I read that too. So basically, after he showed him his pee, they were like, "Yo, I like massaging homeboy. We're gonna fuck around with him again." Basically, I scheduled another appointment. I scheduled a follow up with my man.
So they all bragged and praised him. So like they put it on social media, or they told their friends, or they put it on Twitter saying, "Yo, I just fucking massaged Deshaun Watson. This is so amazing." Blah 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 blah. That's 8 of them. Now 7.
Okay, so 8, bang. So another 7, that's 13. Go ahead.
Another 7 were saying they were willing to work with him again after the dates of the alleged assaults.
Okay.
So they hit him up on Twitter or DM on Instagram and say, "Hey, if you need me to work on you again, I'm willing to do it." So let's say if he supposedly the incident happened on April 1st, they hit him up on April 5th saying, "Oh, if you need me to come by again, I don't mind coming by." So that's 7 of them.
In the writing, because I don't know. First of all, who wrote this article in ESPN?
ESPN.com.
Who wrote it?
Sarah Barship.
Okay, what is her stats? Is she on the ESPN legal team? I'm not trying to play because I know they have.
Oh, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure they're not going to release this information.
No, I just wanted to see, like, so is that 7 and 8? Is he saying the 8, 7 out of that is specific 8, or is it 2 different sets?
It's 2 different sets. It's
and a 7 set.
So you have Watson's legal response alleges that after 8 of the plaintiffs massaged him. So 8 people bragged. 8 women bragged about it.
Right.
So they didn't no misconduct. So now 7.
Another 7. Not that
another
same.
7. Not none of the 8.
Right.
Another 7.
Another 7. Boom.
Wanted to go back for a reoccurring massage.
Got it.
after the date of the incident.
So that's a lot of people, bro.
That's 15.
Yes.
Right? Now,
Tell me.
Three plaintiffs lied about the number of sessions they've actually had with him. So they said, hey, I massaged him 4 times, and actually they massaged him once, or they only massaged him twice. So they lied about that. So that's 18 out of the 22 plaintiffs. And supposedly the rest told others that they just wanted to get money out of him.
Right. Well, Jane Doe 1 tried to extort Watson for $30,000.
I heard 100,000, but it doesn't matter. Whatever. He tried to get money. And
I said that last week. I thought that situation right there was a cause for pause, only because it's gonna look like you know your shit is being discredited because you look like it's a money grab. Now, 3 out of it, I mean, it seems like a lot. I forgot who Rusty Hardin represented before, but he's seasoned NFL. No, he's also a seasoned NFL attorney, and homeboy usually gets decent verdicts. I don't know if he represented Airin Hernandez, but overall, this is a crazy story because I think a lot of people in the beginning were hesitant to buy into the story, but as the numbers kept going up, we obviously seen, but the thing is also too, you're black, you have money, you play quarterback, right? And in the same window of the Bill Cosby,
you wanted to be traded
in the Me Too shit, and then of course, what was it? Bisbee, has connections with the Houston Texans ownership and all this other stuff. So it could have been a possibility that they might have ratcheted up all the stories and got all the girls to kind of like buy into this. This is gonna be alarming if this shit gets smacked. And you know what's crazy, bro? They're not going to give it as much love if he's not guilty.
And I hope Deshaun, if there's evidence that anybody from the Texas organization wired these women money, or whatever the case may be, to cahoot, I hope he fucking sues for $7 billion. I would
never play football again. I would just bounce.
I would hope he sues for the ownership of the fucking Texans. And I hope it's Bisbee, right? The other,
attorney.
The attorney for the women, right? Is Bisbee?
Hmm?
I hope he fucking gets his dick caught in his zipper, because you're a cocksucker for trying to take down a man.
But you know what? He's not really a cocksucker, because remember, hate the game, not the player. He's playing by the fucking rules of the way the legal system is set up.
Now, fuck him, because I'm pretty sure when you go into, listen, this is for me, from the outside looking in. If you go and take a woman, right, and you already were already representing a woman, and you went to Deshaun Watson and said, "Hey, listen, get $100K, everything goes away," and then you go and he says, "Nah, fuck that, I didn't do anything wrong," and then you go and get 22 other women, and then you're a cocksucker. Fuck you, because be a fucking decent human. Go after the fucking oil companies who are fucking taking money from the little person. Go fucking work on the civil rights that are getting violated. Go defend people who are on death row who didn't commit a crime. Or go defend people who were in fucking New Jersey when the fucking death was in California and they said that he was there. There's been cases like that where people are in jail sitting right now. Go fix that shit. To be your fucking scumbag trying to get these women to go get this guy for his money because your friend, allegedly,
right?
We're all speculating that your connections with your friend, because Deshaun says, "Fuck the Texans, I don't want to be here anymore. This is a shitty ass organization." Then a week later, voila, a fucking 22 lawsuits come out of nowhere that women sexually he's assaulting. That's just a scumbag.
I gotta say this, on the other side of things, to not only talk to Deshaun Watson, but to talk to other gentlemen in this position, and I totally understand if to defend anybody who has had something like this happen to them for real. If your story has validity, it's important to get it out there, talk to people, get the help, and all that other stuff. But for guys like Deshaun Watson, bro, you got way too much money to be soliciting any kind of help off of fucking Instagram. And if you do that kind of shit, you need to be signing contracts with these females and these young ladies, because you put yourself in a lose-lose situation, and you rolled the dice because you thought Deshaun Watson was bigger than the Houston Texans. And we are noticing now that that is not true. And you went out there and you fucking started wilding out, and they're now taking your shit to court. Even if he has 1 or 2 girls, the NFL could still, like, out of that 22, if 3 are real, he could still get burnt. You know what I mean? I mean, end of the day, he lost the Nike contract, right? He lost the Beats contract.
Nike has him on suspension. I think Beats cut full ties with him, if I'm not mistaken.
He's still hurting on that money front, you know?
But now, when he gets cleared, because I think he's going to get clear, and I knew this was bullshit from fucking day one.
I mean, I think a lot of people thought that
because
way.
Because of the way it was lined up, the coincidence was just too much of a coincidence. Him talking on against the organization, and then all of a sudden he gets thing. Just know when these companies come back and he's winning championships, you better charge them fucking quadruple. That's what you're gonna do. Fuck them in the ass real hard. Say, oh, you want me to be on a Nike deal? I need 75 mil. Beats, you want me back? 100 mil. Fuck that. Stand your ground, man. There's pride in being, and especially when you, like, I think the worst is I've never been accused of it yet, but I had the feel, like, I would have the feelings of, if I know I didn't do anything wrong, I would fight to the death of me. I'm wasting all my bread to get to the bottom of it. Fuck that, man. There's nothing worse than you walking around, and I don't really give a fuck what anybody thinks about me. But for people to look at me and be like, oh, you rape women? That's a bad stigma to have on you.
You see, remember that chick? I mean, he was guilty as fuck, but, you know, Harvey Weinstein couldn't even eat dinner because they were harassing him out there in the streets. You know, like, it's hardcore. Like, once you get that scarlet letter, you're fucked.
And even with him, like,
come outside.
And we talked about it briefly last week. With him, if he did, like I said, physically hold down women, then that's fucked up. But you have some of the scenarios where if he was just like, yo, suck my dick, I'll get you a list with Jason Statham and The Rock, you Gucci. That's a transaction that the two adults are having. The woman could have always said no. And I'm pretty sure some did say no. But the ones that did say yes, and now they have a fucking successful run of 20 years in the movie industry, I don't see anybody giving that back. I just find the hypocrisy in it.
Yeah,
when it comes to that. But I just hope the apologies are fucking as loud as a slander.
Yeah, that's all I hope. Apologies don't fucking move the needle in the sense of eyeballs, because no one's gonna give a flying fuck if he's innocent. They only care that he's guilty.
Yep, that's it.
That's all it is. Well, we're about to get out of here real quick, but I wanted to introduce something a little different and see how it goes, and we'll throw it up on social and see if anybody likes it. It was this weekend I lost my voice because we had a heated discussion last week. Last show's week I think was pretty fire. We got a pretty good response from it, and so I was at the bar and I was chopping up with these cats, and everybody was fucking talking shit like they always do. And so I was like, you know what, it'd be interesting if we could do kind of a segment called Versus, where we put two people and pit them against each other, and we see, at least in our opinions, how what most jokers at the bars are fucking thinking. So I call it Versus, blue corner versus red corner. I'm gonna throw a couple people in there, and then we're gonna dip out and try to chop this show up and get it out there for you guys. So the first Versus I put in, and we were talking about it earlier, right? Because I don't know why this guy's still a thing, but his numbers are crazy. Is Mookie Betts better than Mike Trout for the best player in the MLB, or is Mike Trout better than Mookie Betts in the sense of best player in the MLB? We can go through the numbers if we need to get validity in this discussion. What do you think, bro? Because I wanted your opinion. I even wanted to bring shout out to Manny Laura if he's listening, because he knows what time it is in the rapping and rhyming biz.
They're pretty close from the numbers. I think Mike Trout has been in the league a little longer. So
he's been in the league 11 years. I didn't put that down. And then Mookie's been in the league 8 years.
So you got to go by validity and being in competing and winning championships. And Mike Trout, as great as his numbers are and as great as he's been, he hasn't moved the needle. They haven't won anything. I think they've won maybe one division title. I don't even know how many times they've been to the playoffs. I don't think that much either.
I know they won one World Series title. That was one of the years they beat us up to get in there. under Mike Scioscia, but
not with Mike Trout.
No, I think after that they had a fire sale, and Mike Trout like landed in their lap because it was so damn bad.
So he's been in the league, so 10 years.
Who, Trout?
Yeah, 2011 he came in, and it's 2021. So he's been in the league 10 years. Now, I'm trying to see playoff numbers.
Yeah, I don't even know if there is any of those because I've never heard of Mike Trout in the playoffs.
Exactly. That's the whole point.
I agree. That's why I think the fact that Mookie Betts has 2 chips automatically KOs the Mike Trout best player argument. Because there's no way Mookie Betts doesn't win a third, and his numbers are obviously going to go up.
He's only been to the playoffs one time. Like it's not even a discussion. He's been to the playoffs one time. Mookie Betts has been, I think, almost his whole career, if I'm not mistaken.
Pretty much with the Boston Red Sox, yeah.
Right, let's check Mookie Betts. So Mike Trout went in 2014,
and that was
playoffs, and that was it.
Yeah, so for all you cats listening, telling me that Mike Trout is the best player in baseball, no.
Yeah, so
Trout is a meaning of baseball. Regular season numbers are great, but if you don't win no hardware, how can you be the best? I don't understand how that's.
So Mike Trout has been in the league since 2014.
No, that you're talking about Mookie Betts.
I'm sorry, Mookie Betts has been in the league since 2014.
Uh-huh.
He's been to the playoffs 4 times.
Right.
So half of his career.
Yeah.
And he has 2 chips in half of his career.
Right. Half of his career in the playoffs, and 1/3 of that half.
No, half of that half he's been in the league. So he's been in the league 8 years. He's been in the playoffs 4 years, and he's won 2 chips in those 4 years in the playoffs.
That's it. Fucking ding, 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 ding.
Like,
KO.
It's not discussed.
That's it. We're done. Okay, next blue corner versus red corner in the versus segment. I know we never watched these guys, but these 2 guys' kids are being compared into the same way. Some people are arguing that Tatis is the Patrick Mahomes of the MLB. So these guys were arguing with me that Pat Mahomes Sr. was better and had a better career than Tatis Sr. And I ran the numbers, and that's absolute bullshit.
Isn't Pat Mahomes Sr. a pitcher?
Yes. So the argument was that you really can't compare them. Do you agree with that argument? Because they play different positions.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that. That's a weird debate to even have because the only way it would matter is if he was OD dominant. You would just be talking about domination, not as a player. Because
I was talking about domination because the argument was scrub baseball player or elite player, and I felt like Mahomes was a scrub player.
Yeah, his opponent's batting average was 360 that he pitched against.
Right. So he was just chucking up fucking bombs to fools. His overall career, he's 42-39. He has a 5.47 ERA. That's not good.
No, he has a losing percentage.
He don't career. I mean, he played for Boston. He played for the Mets. I think he played for the Blue Jays. I think he got sent back down to the farm system because his stint in Boston wasn't great. Now versus Tatis Sr., right? Tatis Sr. has the record for most MLB RBI scored in a single inning. Number 1. Number 2, he has 113 home runs. Number 3, his batting average is 265. They both played 11 years.
Yeah, I think those guys were just talking shit and they were drunk.
Oh, of course. I gotta shut them the fuck down because I'm like, you're wrong. There's no elite player. Tatis, I think you got to give him the belt too.
I think they were just trying to compare the sons, like vicariously to them, saying, Mahomes, look, he's a little better because look at Mahomes, the son. Like that has nothing to do with anything. Another TKO. Tatis Sr.
All right, go 2-0. Next one. I know you're not a fan of this shit, but I thought it was funny because the same motherfuckers arguing about the same shit brought this shit up. Alex Rodriguez is in the red corner, and J-Lo is in the blue corner. Both of these characters are worth $400 million. Moving forward, they broke up. Who's gonna have? First question is, who's gonna have a more more impactful career moving forward?
Impactful career?
Meaning, like, who's gonna do more shit? Who's gonna make more money? Whose cloud is gonna last longer?
A-Rod is a titan juggernaut in the business world. People don't know that he owns, I think, 2,000 gyms
Jesus Christ.
The
That's what I was trying to tell fools. I'm like, yo, A-Rod's a business, man. And I don't even like the dude.
He owns 15,000 doors, which in real estate terms is 15,000 apartments. That people don't understand. That's a whole nother level.
Right, that's filthy. That's
just stupid money that you could every 10 years, you know, appreciate your value. And then just take that money right out your thing. All that money is non-taxed.
Right. One of his boys is Warren Buffett. I'm like, homeboy is, you know, obviously he's a G in the making money situation.
Yeah, and Forbes always is tricky because they don't know what you're making. They just going with like the deals that are public.
Got it. Right. I don't know behind the doors. Like Alex might have some shit under his mama's name.
Because if you own 15,000 doors of real estate, that's probably,
bro.
He probably owes $2 or $3 billion in real estate.
Right. Yeah, that's why I was surprised that he wasn't a billionaire, because my original argument was that he was a billionaire.
And I'm pretty sure he probably is. But that's just Forbes, just depending on how they
weigh it out.
They rate it out. Because like Jay-Z even said he's been a billionaire for a while, but Forbes they haven't caught up to it, you know?
Right.
And that's all different money.
So what do you think? So right there, you obviously with me too. It looks like A-Rod is jabbing hard body.
Because I don't know Jennifer Lopez's background and her business.
Right. But let's say movies and music.
Nah, I would say A-Rod moving forward.
Right? Yeah. And then overall, is A-Rod's HOF career more impressive, even though he juiced, than J-Lo's acting and music career?
Probably because A-Rod was the king of his sport for a while.
Right.
And J-Lo's great, but she was never the queen of the music industry or the thing. Like, she was dope. She was Hispanic. That's fire. That she was fucking at the top of the game. You know, I always want to see my people winning.
But she was never considered like a Madonna.
She's not a Madonna. She's not a Beyonce.
Correct.
You know, like she wasn't at the top of the food chain kind of thing. She's up there, but the thing with her is kind of weird too, because she has the Hispanic audience, and the Hispanic audience gets lost.
Yes.
In music. In the demographic. So like, if you make it in Spanish, you're gonna be big. It's like if you make it in country, you're gonna be big.
Right.
But like Beyonce is like all over the world. Period. Like,
she's in fucking China. Fucking girls in China love fucking Beyonce. You go to fucking Italy and you go Beyonce, they're like, oh, I know her. She's
I would definitely go with A-Rod.
Boom. Damn, 3-0. Ding, 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 right out the gate. Because I agree with all those statements. Like, let's fucking come on. The biggest one is Mookie Betts, hands down, bro. It just unbelievable. Great player, always smiling, does everything right, fucking never strikes out. You know, based on all the shit that you were saying, he could hit to any side of the field. I don't even think they put the shift on Mookie Betts, because it doesn't fucking matter where they fucking move the guys. Homeboy hits. Right? I mean, and he looks like he likes playing out right field. When you said that's where they usually put bummies to play. Homeboy does it all. So to me, he is the face of baseball, and Tatis needs to get a fucking wake up call, because even though you're on the cover of 21, you know, MLB The Show doesn't mean you're the shit, bro. And I need to show you how to win baseball, because Mookie Betts, hands down, wherever he goes, homeboy wins.
Yep.
All right, that takes us to the end of the show. Did we get any comments? Yelling and screaming so loud?
No comments today.
All right, cool. Motherfuckers was just listening. All right. Tell the people what they got to do to catch up with us some more, bro.
All right. Make sure you guys check us out. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, that notification bell. Check us out on Twitter, TikTok, if you want to see some funny shit clips. Also, show up, show out, and have a good day, man. Life is wonderful, and don't let the news bring you down.
100%. Stay safe, stay healthy, and thanks for listening.